How's it going? Today I want to talk about what I've been seeing online regarding Shanks's one-hit TPK on the Kid Pirates. People are really confused, I guess, how Shanks can just one-hit what they consider to be Yonko level pirate. So this is where I want to start this video, discussing whether or not Kid should be considered Yonko level. Now, first, Yonko is a term that describes the for whatever reason it's for, most powerful pirates that the government just decides they're not even going to bother going after them. Nobody's going after these guys. And we later learned that that's a term that can be used by the media to describe somebody, as they described Luffy as the fifth Yonko, given that title basically by the media, which is controlled essentially by one man, or bird man. That's a lot of power for one person to wield. To just declare somebody a Yonko puts a big target on their back too. So is Kid at that level where the people would recognize him as a Yonko? Some people, I guess, do, because online people would argue that, he is a good rival for Luffy, or that he could, go up against Shanks and at least put up a fight. But what we saw was just embarrassing, man. And I mean, add insult to injury, they did not need to chop that ship in half. Imagine if that was a Sunny. That would be devastating. So I really kind of just pour one out for the Kid Pirates, bro. They really went down bad. That was not good. But if any one of the three super captains from the Supernovas were gonna go out, it would be Kid, and I'm glad to see it. I mean, it may be Law too. He went up against Blackbeard. So maybe two of the three captains are down, and we just haven't seen the results from Law. But I want to get back into whether or not Kid should be considered a Yonko. He's done this before. He's gone up against a Yonko and been defeated. He even tried to sneak into Big Mom's territory successfully, though, and then get out with a little copy of a poneglyph, so good on him. He went up against the Red Hair Pirates before, and he lost his arm, okay? He accidentally went up against Kaido and became imprisoned, and it wasn't until Luffy rescued him that he even had a chance to be a captain again, let alone considered to be a Yonko. So after the escape, he regroups, joins the alliance, and the raid on Onigashima. He again he doesn't show me, especially on the roof, that he should be there. I feel like Zoro made a much bigger impact on that roof than Kid, and even Law did. Law did some cool stuff with the, thing. He's always cool when he does that. But after, when he's fighting Big Mom with Law, that's when we really get to see him shine. And he's very impressive. He is able to kind of control, in a sense, Big Mom's movement, pinning her to giant metal pieces, just moving her around. Even if it's just slight, it's enough to really help Law put in those really damaging strikes. Law was arguably doing the majority of the damage, and Kid was kind of supporting with CC. But yeah, after watching the fight with them and Big Mom, and her being completely aware as she was falling down to her seemingly death, I don't think she's dead at all. She's like, yeah, I don't think I'm over, I'm coming back for y'all. She doesn't seem to be defeated at that point. So I just feel like it's not really a full victory. So I would say together, they both have a half of a victory against a Yonko. Gravity did most of the most of the damage. And then they, since they fought together, Kid only has a quarter of a victory against a Yonko. So at best, let's call him a quarter to where Yonko is. But honestly, that's not fair. Because, Big Mom, I feel like, is really up there as far as power levels. I really feel like they're trying to build her up a little bit more than what they've shown so far, because especially when you saw her as a kid and how powerful she was, so she took out a giant, she's got some other kind of primal power in her that makes her more powerful than probably even any character in the entire thing. That's my theory anyway. And let's talk about Shanks. Why are people surprised that Shanks is this powerful? We saw what he can do with just his presence alone. He walked onto Whitebeard's ship alone and basically told him, yo, I'm about to go after one of your people. And you're gonna have to be cool with that because he did this and that. You know how it goes. and walked away from that. And then later stopped Kaido from going to the battle at Marineford, and then went to Marineford and single-handedly ended that entire battle with just words. You know, of course it would have gone, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, his reputation and his words stopped that battle. And that was probably the most consequential moment in all of this series, so, still to this day, I would argue. And he was the one that just came in there, nah, y'all need to stop that. And it was stopped. Just like that. That was it. Nobody argued. It was it. That's a wrap. Well, I guess Buggy argued. Shanks walks into the Gorosei's meeting and just walks out again. He's obviously on a whole nother level. Nobody's doing that. Kaido's not doing that. Big Mom's not doing that. You know? So why is everybody surprised? That kid. Again, I said it before. I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it. If any of the three were gonna die, Luffy, Law, Kid, I'm not upset that it's Kid. If I'm not saying he's dead, but if he is dead, he's dead. Like, you know, he had a good story, and this is how it ends. Him just going brash. He just went in there half cocked. You're gonna go up against Shanks? What is wrong with you? It was just really a poor decision, and that's really ultimately the only thing you can control is your decisions, and that was not a good one. And we see the results. And one last thing I want to mention that I've seen again online a few times is people wondering how Shanks is getting so powerful all of a sudden. He's not been getting powerful all of a sudden. He hasn't had to do anything because he was already so powerful that his reputation just allows him to just chill. And so he has been. So yeah, if you can only believe what you see, yeah, I guess he hasn't shown us that he's very powerful. But he has shown us that he's powerful just by his presence alone, by the people he associates himself with, the people that he goes about just to stop on a whim, you know, like the world government, and to just go into casually walk into. I guess he was kind of covered up. For probably respect for them, to just walk into the Gorosei meeting, and them to actually have a conversation with him, like that is power. That is some kind of other power, and it leaves a lot of questions about his character, this mystery behind why he is the way he is, how he's able to get away with all of that. And yeah, it could be just he's a master at hockey. And maybe he's a master at hockey that he's manipulated a way to combine in his hockeys to make them more effective. Or maybe it's something like Jujutsu Kaisen's Black Flash, where maybe he applies his hockey or advanced conqueror's hockey right at the moment where it's like instantaneously at the same time as the hit strikes, and then it's just so overwhelming at that moment that nobody can defend against it. We don't know, you know, there's a lot of things that we're going to have to learn, and it's just natural that narratively there's going to be this, you know, next evolution. Think about what Luffy has gone through. The first two fights, you know, Horty Jones and Caesar, they just kind of showed off that he's really powerful. But then he's got to master Conqueror's Haki, or at least he's got to fight people that have Conqueror's Haki. When he fought Don Chinjao and Doflamingo. And after, he fought Katakuri, and he had to learn how to evolve his future sight, or his observation Haki, into future sight, so that he could fight on par with him. Then he had to advance and evolve his armament and Conqueror's Haki so that he can even do anything to Kaido, and then they sprinkled in a little bit of awakening for his devil fruit there as well, so that gave him the edge. So narratively, it's seeming like obviously Haki is a very powerful, you know, resource, or a very powerful ability in this universe, and that there's bound to be a master of all, and maybe Shanks is that master of all. Maybe he knows things that nobody else knows. Maybe he knows things where he's discovered things that nobody's ever known, and so that's something that Luffy needs to get past. And this is just a way to display that, you know, and with Green Bull, like what, 20 chapters ago. This is just a way for us to be shown that this guy is on a whole nother level. He's talking to people with his Haki. He's shutting people down from miles away with his Haki. And then he is just jumping across a bay and one hit killing an entire, not killing, not knocking them all out with one strike. These people who just did battle with two other Yonkos, you know, just like a couple of weeks ago. So it's crazy, I get it, but it's just the evolution, maybe. That's just where we're going. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm stupid, you can let me know too. Why not? Like this video, and I'll see you next week. Peace.